Hey guys, Derek here from Profit Kit. Today, as the title states, we're going to look at how to calculate BMI using the metric system. So we will look at the imperial system as well in another video, so please just refer to the links below in order to refer to that one. So I guess to start with, we need to understand what our variables are under the metric system. So if we have a look, we've basically got height equals meters and weights in kilograms. Obviously, under both of those scenarios, there's different ways of measuring them. So just keep in mind that if you do get other measurements, you will need to actually convert them to those particular variables. So now we need to understand what our formula is. So essentially, BMI equals kilograms divided by meters, and it is squared, so multiplied by itself. So just keep that in mind. So pretty easy. We just need to find out what our variables are and then essentially work through that formula together. So we do have an example. We've got Sam. Sam weighs 70 kilos or kilograms, and his height is 172 centimeters. Now, so we'll basically work through that formula together. So essentially kilograms is 70, so that's pretty easy. We can just go 70 and then divided by, but just keep in mind how in this example it's 172 centimeters, not meters. So we will in fact have to convert that, which is pretty easy. It's essentially just dividing it by 100. But we will put that in brackets. So we'll go 172 divided by 100, and that's still to the power of 2. So if we just work on the next level, we'll go, so that's basically 1.72, and we will bring that power out and we'll go 1.72 by 1.72. So that brings it to that state. And then we'll just move on to the next level. So I'm just doing some calculations in advance. So here we go. We've got 70 divided by, so 1.72 by 1.72 equals 2.95 or 96 rounded up. And then we just got to then basically go 70 divided by 2.96, which then gives us our BMI. So we've got 23.648. So that's it. Now we'll take you through, we've built a calculator just to make it a little bit easier. And I guess the benefits of that is it does chart you into the right category, and it'll tell you, based on your BMI, what that indicates as far as like what the number actually means. So we'll just flick across to that. I've put the variables in advance, but on our calculator, you can just head to our website, profitkit.com.au. To get to this particular calculator, you can get there a couple of ways. You can go to articles, health and wellbeing, how to calculate BMI, or you can go to health and wellbeing. And then from there, you can just select the BMI calculator. So we'll go ahead and we'll type the variables in again. So we've got weight, 70 kilos or kilograms, and then height, 172. And as you tab down, you'll see that it'll calculate your BMI for you, and it'll also tell you what category you fall into. So based on this scenario, it's one rounding different, but that'll just be rounding calculation, nothing else. So we had 23.648. This has rounded it up to 23.7. But based on that, we've got a normal BMI or a healthy BMI basically. And then we'll give you the range. So it'll basically tell you 18.5 to 24.9 indicates that you're a healthy weight for your height. So as you can play around with that, and obviously as you're probably not so much your weight, we'll keep that at 1.72, but even going up another 5 kilos or 7 kilos, that was a typo, but 5 kilos will, they will change it to say that you're actually overweight based on your BMI, because it's gone just over into the next category, so 25.4. So it's a pretty good indication just to, I guess, keep track of where you're at. But yeah, there's certainly plenty of other factors that you need to take into account, so just be very careful. Obviously, we've got a disclaimer that you can refer to. We're not giving any advice or anything, just simply showing you how to calculate it and what that in fact means based on the calculation. But as I said, it's a great guide just to give you an idea as to where you're at. So if we change that back to 70, get that to 23.7, well, then you can refer to the chart below, and that'll pretty much tell you all the different categories. So based on that, you can see that anything over 24.9, so from 25 and above, indicates that, based on the BMI calculation, that you're considered overweight or obese. Certain variables, obviously, that need to be taken into account. We've talked here about, being a bodybuilder. You can see how that can certainly change your weight and not your height. So that'll throw your BMI calculation out by a fair bit, but you may in fact be very healthy by, just being muscular. Long distance runners, on the other hand, can be quite lean, but very healthy. We've got pregnant women. They're in fact going to be very heavy, but there's a reason for it, obviously, in their case. So that's certainly going to throw the BMI calculation out. So you shouldn't rely on that at all in that particular scenario. But it's a great indication just for your average person. Obviously, kids shouldn't use it at all, just because it's not reliable at all for children or anything like that. But just have a bit of a read of that below, just to make sure you've got a clear understanding as to what it is and what to consider. That's pretty much it. So again, our calculator's there as a bit of a guide. If you'd like to use the imperial system, you can just simply select the box and enter in your variables based on the imperial calculation. So you got, in this case, pounds, feet, and inches, or you can go inches only. But again, we'll address that in our other video. So I hope you enjoyed that. Just a very quick calculation, but again, we've had a lot of inquiries about it, so I thought I'd quickly do a tutorial as to how to calculate it. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like and subscribe our page, and if you've got any suggestions or anything else that you'd like to know, drop it in the comments below.